They'll be calling you a radical. We got major freaking breaking news. Allison McFarland has resigned. I want to get into this dichotomy. It's important that I do this video where I do it. That's the Great Salt Lake. You don't think we're in a western drought from hell that'll blow your mind? I've lived here my entire life. See a little bit of water? This whole thing is lake. All the way across it. You want percentage of the western United States, the Great Basin, all of it ends up here. Look at this thing. Stark, dramatic, unbelievable. Oh yeah, wow. Drought from hell, it's epic. The climate change, the environmental poisoning, the treason that has gone on inside the NRC, you know, I love it. Freaking, I did my open letter to the NRC. I know Allison. I want to talk about the dichotomy of the nuclear regulatory criminals. My advice to the entire NRC. Number one, I will be in Carlsbad, and I'm sick and tired of the Southern California hypocrite, silicone sandal wearing phony fucking activists who are worthless, totally worthless. The NRC are criminals. The NRC is a criminal enterprise. The NRC, Nuclear Rally Cheerleaders, Nuclear Regulatory Commission, appointed, paid by politicians, they're criminals. And my advice to the entire NRC, I'd be getting some good attorneys about now, because our Army has all the crimes that you have committed. You put this, I want people to explain this so people can understand this. Here's the dichotomy of the nuclear waste in this country. There is no answer, there's never been no answer. San Onofre, the poster child for corruption. Right there inside the bone marrow transplant, fighting for my life. It's going to give you leukemia. It's going to give you leukemia. And I want to say this so people understand this. My father, right here, 7th generation Utah, very first people who set foot here, downwinder on Balco, drafted United States Marine at Pendleton, at San Onofre, Special Forces guy, human lab rat, put on PT boats in the middle of the night, put on the water, battle combat ready, in the early 50s for Vietnam. Drafted, mind me, drafted. Drafted. Combat ready, turned around in the middle of the night, put on trucks, drove out there. Freaking human lab ratted. Cal Berkeley Teller made the decision. The G. McCarthy, freaking radical, insane, at Livermore. Lawrence, a mentally ill piece of shit, tell her that piece of shit as they pushed Oppenheimer to the side because he became anti-war. They knew they were going to kill them all. They knew it. They knew with malice they were going to mutate their freaking genetic pool and probably kill their children. They knew it. I could prove that they knew it. They took them into the trenches, not the ones you see in the support, 60,000 Army personnel. Oh no, these were right at the blast. Killed lots of them at the blast. They woke up in hospitals in San Diego with their tonsils cut out. Teller, these evil criminal bastards made the choice to cut their tonsils out so they could read the radiation to see how long they would live, how long it would take. And if you don't think that continues to go on, they're doing the same thing with the troops on the USS Reagan. I'm the one there supporting them the whole time. Defend, oh, we support our troops. We got to yell. No, you don't, you phony fuckers in San Diego. I was the only one there. Me and freaking Lori, we're the only protesters there. One other guy showed up. Tom Brown showed up. Libby and her friend in the courtroom. I've been there the whole time. I never left this fight from San Onofre from the time I was a little boy. I knew that thing was wrong. They're the poster child for corruption. Sitting on there that cliff. So, the human guinea pig them. All of them die of leukemia in the prime of their lives. Their children, all kinds of birth defects. I have a twin sister. Do you realize the mutation that takes? Autistic? Oh, I had so many issues, so many problems, underdeveloped lungs, all this. Not one single dime, our family. My mother, not a. The only monument in the world that exists for an atomic veteran is at our cemetery. The sacrifice. We put it up. Our family and the community put it up in honor of him. Not one dime, not one penny, not one medal, not nothing. Then I look a lot like him. I act a lot like him. I talk a lot like him. My cousin says, you're him. The wit, the intensity, the righteous fight, oh, that was him. The coach, the teacher, the professor, that was him. Now I have leukemia. Given 2 months to live, economically destroyed me. My hospital bills in the millions. Not one rat piece of shit attorney in the fucking world. These coward motherfuckers that exist. These coward pieces of shit. It was done with malice. It was done with intent. It's the greatest crimes against humanity. It was done at Livermore. It was done at Berkeley. I went to Livermore on day 1000. Steinbeck would freaking gone. Creepy. I mean, I wanted to face these fuckers that murdered my father and gave me leukemia. I was given leukemia before I was born. That's what we're doing at San Onofre. So the NRC, those criminal rat fuckers, they're supposed to protect us, which they don't protect us. They're a criminal enterprise. They store the waste on site. Now let's talk about this. Harry Reid, born and raised at Yucca Mountain. Yucca Mountain is built. It is built. By law, it was supposed to be in Yucca Mountain in the 70s. That was the deal. No answer for the waste. There's still no answer. And I want to hear about this. Oh, thermal reactor, this freaking revitrification. No, it still has waste. Still has the same waste. Still no answer for the waste. Make nuclear bombs out of the waste. Revitrification, bullshit. It's a fucking lie. They just store it on site, on site, on site. Harry Reid, the second most powerful man in America. Well, now, we know the Senate race is going to be freaking tight. Maybe he'll lose his power. They put up, the teabaggers put up Sarah Engel, the most dumbest person in the history of the world. A blade of grass would have beat Harry Reid. A dirt cloud. I know Harry Reid. Let's talk about this. Born and raised at Yucca Mountain. He's a Mormon. Mormon missionaries find it. He worked at ATK right over there. The rocket booster that blew up the Challenger, Harry Reid worked on that rocket. So the dichotomy has been this. And all you fucking environmentalists are the problem. So, you know, oh, we can't fucking... Allison McFarland is a geologist. She wrote books about fucking... She's anti-Yucca Mountain. Gregory Jacko, they were placed there as a gift by Harry Reid. Harry Reid will no way get elected in freaking Nevada. Nevada doesn't want Yucca Mountain. Hell no. They sucked up all that money. Say, oh, people will say, oh, you can't transport it across fucking lines. Right there. I caught on video. Right there. I caught right there on that road. I caught Energy Solutions dragging a hot reactor out there. Sent it to the media. No one gets it. It's against the law. They transport nuclear waste across this country from right out there. That's the Energy Solutions dump site. That's the burn facility. You can see the smoke out the burn facility today. Burning nuclear. They truck it to Y-12, make nuclear bombs, Megan Rice. So, oh, we can't transport it by train, crane. We transport by plane, train, automobile all day, every day. So, their answer, Harry Reid doesn't, their people don't want it at Yucca Mountain, don't want it there. This new study comes out just 3 days ago on Yucca Mountain. No coincidence in Allison's freaking stepped out. Can't take the heat, get out of the fucking kitchen. They're fucking criminals. They're fucking criminals. The NRC are criminals. Well, ask Barbara Boxer if you don't believe me. Ask Barbara Boxer if you don't believe me. The head of the committee. Senate Congressional Committee with all the powers of the Constitution. They tell her to fuck off. They're criminals. And I'm going to call them out. I'll be in Carlsbad staying right in the same hotel with those fucking rat bastards on fucking... I land in San Diego on the 26th. I need a ride. I'll be at San Diego Airport, I think, at 9:30 in the morning. I'll be there for a few days. I'm staying right there at Carlsbad. I'll be in the hearing. I'm going to fucking record in history the NRC criminal fucking rats they are. And the softball Southern Cal activists, fuck, stay home where you fucking belong. You've done shit anyway. Fuck, shut down San Onofre, fuck. What does it matter if it's fucking dry cast on site? I got an argument, and I love Gene Stone, don't get me wrong. Gene, I love it. But I got an argument with these guys. Oh, they're going to fucking just pass a law to put... NRC has no congressional power. That's not a fucking law. It's an illegitimate law, just like our illegitimate Supreme Court. Not my fucking words, Justice Breyer's words. Fucking Alito and Roberts have no business being on the Supreme Court. Fuck, they didn't win. It's an illegitimate fucking president who did not win. Placed by there, they're illegitimate. Not my words, Justice Breyer's words. He's fucking right. So the fact of the matter is this. Harry Reid fucking blocks Yucca Mountain. So the argument's either you put it in Yucca Mountain or you shoot it into space. I've argued with Allison McFarland for years about that. I'm like, put it in fucking Yucca Mountain. Get in ancient aquifer on you. So all of you environmentalists, you'll say, oh, can't shoot it into space. What the fuck? You know how big fucking space is? Do you know what a dot we are, you arrogant fuckers? You know what is in space already anyway? It's out of our atmosphere. Wow. So I'm like, okay, Allison, I agree with you, shoot it in space. Oh, well, Harry Reid was working on Challenger when it blew up. So my answer, oh, I'm all about answers, economically, socially, philosophical. My answer is fucking transport it all. Get it out. It cannot sit on that cliff in San Onofre for 20 fucking 30 years. It needs to be gone yesterday. Doesn't matter if the reactor's shut down. Fucking falls off that cliff. This country's gone. The jet stream moves left and right. It's the most dangerous fucking... It is the poster child for fucking everything wrong with the nuclear industry. The most corrupt cartel in the history of mankind. Price Anderson. Fuck you as the taxpayer had to pay for it. Get it to fucking Yucca Mountain. Build a fucking rocket fucking boost. I mean, it's right there on the government installation area there, Area 52, 53, 54. It's all government fucking installation anyway. Build the fucking rocket fucking site and fucking shoot the shit into fucking space. In the meantime, centrally locate it. Get it out of these fucking reactors. They're ticking time bombs fucking, and it isn't even 104. There's two, they're all over. They're stored everywhere. Fucking the transparency, the fucking corruption, the cover up, fucking get it out there. Fuck, this shit needs to fucking go. It's got to go. They're fucking been telling us for 40 years they're on the verge of re-evacuation. They ain't fucking never gonna get that. That's Einstein fucking words. He was right, you're fucking wrong. Oh yeah, we're on the verge, we got fucking this. Bullshit, you're fucking liars. These reactors are 40 years old. They were never built. They're decaying, they're falling apart. These evil corrupts, we deregged it. They're owned by fucking corrupt bankers. I mean, it's the most corrupt. You pay for it, guarantee it. The IAEA. Ha! Hijacked, the World Health Organization, hijacked. It's all fucking corruption. I got news for you. The walls have come tumbling down. Don't underestimate this fucking camera. Don't underestimate our post-ignorance army. We're fucking the real fucking deal. Fuck, do not underestimate us. This is big, big fucking news. And I'll tell you what, to the NRC, you fuckers are criminals and you know you're fucking criminals and I know you're criminals and I can prove you're criminals. And to the Department of Energy, who fucking murdered my father and gave me fucking leukemia. There's new data out all over it. Our old data, fuck it. It was done with malice, it was done. You owe me some fucking money, motherfuckers. You owe me millions. You owe my mother fucking millions. You owe my family fucking millions, you fucking rats. You want to talk fucking non-patriotic? Let's see. My uncle raised me, stood on Omaha Beach on fucking D-Day. The other fucking son fucking drafted fucking murdered Special Forces Marine. The other son fighter fucking pilot at the fucking Pentagon. These are the people that fucking raised me. Fucking the ultimate sacrifice on Balco. You fucking rats. You fucking wrap yourself up. You police state fucking repressors. I love all the fucking police state. The cops killed 6,000 people. They fucking killed another one out here today. The Million Mass Man March, we'll be talking about this. We'll be talking about. You ever notice all these repressors and these gung-ho war motherfuckers and these wrap your flag foxes? None of them ever bled. None of them ever bled. None of them ever fucking went any fucking where. Their families didn't bled. They fucking, none of them ever fucking bled. War is fucking hell. This is a fucking war. And the NRC, you betrayed us. The American fucking government betrayed me. Well, curse the spite that I was ever born to set this right. And we're in a dramatic fucking cycle in this fucking earth. You can argue why, how, whatever. But Fukushima is a fucking epic fucking disaster. 3/11/11, oh, Papism's dead. Epic fucking disaster. You go denial all you want about it. But that shit needs to come off San Onofre, off that fucking cliff. And Diablo Canyon needs to shut down and get the fuck out of there. The jet stream moves left to right. Fucking California, it's not a Southern California issue. It's not, just like Fukushima is not a Japanese issue. It's a global fucking issue. Fuck, this shit needs to end. These fucking ticking fucking time bombs need to come in. Nuclear has been the greatest disaster, the fucking worst idea. It's worse than fucking Greenspan and science fiction economics, another disaster. This country's got to fucking wake up and fucking accountability, and you fucking betrayed us. The NRC betrayed us. The nuclear industry, the criminals they are, but the nuclear regulators was supposed to protect us. Allison, you were too good to be there, you know, and I know you were thrown to the wolves as a gift to fucking Harry to block Yucca Mountain, you know, but you did come from M.I.T, and we know that, the rats that they are. The fucking Cal Berkeley genociders, those rats. If you don't believe me, look up John Holden. Look him up. Look him up. That's the guy running the fucking so-called cleanup of Fukushima. There is no cleanup of Fukushima. Nobody fucking starting the war. Bullshit! Bullshit, they have the data. I have the fucking data. We have it backed up, and we are going to record this in history. In every temple, in every synagogue, in every keyboard, in every hallowed ground for 1,000 years. Our children, because we love our children. We love our grandchildren. My dad fought for me. I'm going to fight for my children. I'm going to fight for my grandchildren. I don't want this to happen to my grandchildren, what happened to me. Fuck, I've been in a bone marrow transplant, fighting for my, it's hell. This fucking treatment is fucking hell. It's devastating. It's overwhelming. It's fucking just, I don't know how I've done it. I don't know how I've done it. Less than really a 1% chance of surviving this disease that I have. I'm here alive. These fuckers, Department of Energy, you owe me a lot of fucking money, you rats, and you rat pieces of shit fucking attorneys in America. You coward motherfuckers. Fuck you, you fucking cowards. America, home of the fucking coward. That's who we are. Fucking cowards. Stand tuned.